How about one more hand for these kids? Well, as pastor of Ridgeview Community Church, I'm just so happy that on a snowy day, all of you made it to the mall. I mean, this is huge. We had no idea when we started this out if anyone would show up on a snowy day to get their last-minute Christmas shopping done, and yet here you are. And so it's so good to see you all here. Really, the whole thing of all of this music in the mall that you've been hearing and all the kids is all about the amazing, life-changing message of Christmas. And the truth is that as we walk through the mall, we can almost get the impression that Christmas is all about the lights and the decorations and the presents and the celebration. And it's not. I mean, those things are great. I love that stuff. I eat that stuff up. But that stuff is all the after effect. That's the after story of the story that starts. Christmas does not start with this perfect wrapping and light. Christmas starts with darkness. Christmas starts with pain. Christmas starts with despair, and into that darkness and despair comes the light, which is good news, because if this was all that the Christmas season was, we would be out to lunch. We actually, as Americans, we lean so much hope and expectation up against the holiday season, unbearably so. We have all this expectation and hope that this year, the people that we know are going to be civil with one another, and we know that's not true. We have this hope and expectation that kids are going to be good. They're going to be good, or at least good enough to warrant and earn that gift that's going to be under the Christmas tree. And maybe they'll be grateful. We have all this expectation, but year after year, our expectation seems to fall short of reality. You and I, we've been conditioned to believe a lot of things about ourselves, a lot of things about the world around us, a lot of things about life. But I want to challenge you this morning in this mall, I want to challenge you to believe differently. See, because what we believe about Christmas actually matters. What we believe about what those kids were singing about, what you've heard in the songs up to this point, that changes everything. See, the roots of Christmas, the actual story of Christmas, helps us understand that we can have an honest view of humanity. We know that as humans, we're often not at our best, whether it's in our thoughts or our actions. We don't have to go far to find the darkness. We don't have to look in somebody else, the people we work with, the people we spend our holidays with, to find the darkness. We can find the darkness right inside ourselves. The roots of Christmas allows us to be honest about that. The roots of Christmas also inform us and afford us the reality that the greatest gifts are not warranted or deserved or earned. That the greatest gifts given are simply given in grace, in generosity. That if Christmas spirit is an actual thing, Christmas spirit is an echo. It's capturing an echo of a historical event that took place 2,000 years ago. Every movie, everything that we attribute to Christmas spirit is an echo of what took place in that manger when God became man. And for you and for me to enter into the darkness, become a baby that would save the entire world, that would have the opportunity for all of us to capture the redemption found in Jesus. And he was the gift. But just like any other gift, if it's going to be experienced, it has to be received. If you leave all of your Christmas presents unwrapped and all your kids' Christmas presents, if you leave them all wrapped, not unwrapped, if you leave them wrapped, that's going to be a lame Christmas for them because they're going to say, I'm not experiencing any of this. Christmas comes when that paper comes off and you get to see what it is and start to experience it in its fullest measure. That's when you see like the kids' faces go from, I had no idea, to, it's here. That's experiencing it. And just like that, Jesus is a gift that must be experienced. He's a gift that must be received. And you may have a hard time accepting that. For whatever reason, maybe you're skeptical about if he's really real, that if this story is actually more than a myth. Or for you, it might be not that you're hard-hearted to that reality or skeptical or cynical about that, but instead, for you, it's just that everything else in life, all of the problems, all the difficulties are so loud that it has drowned out any resonance to be able to accept this as something that brings you joy. You may believe that the weight of your problems means that your life isn't worth much, or maybe it's not worth living. And I want to challenge you this morning to believe differently. To believe differently. That sometimes when we actually get into a place of trying to just push all of this reality, this story out, we look at the brokenness in our world and we say that we're going to be the one that's going to hold it all together. That this Christmas, if I just get the family together, I'll be able to hold this together. If I just keep this relationship together, I can hold on to this. If I just get the perfect gift, I'll be able to take all this brokenness and make it whole. And no present could ever do that. No relationship could ever do that. No status or accomplishment or success or grade point average or anything else could make all that brokenness whole. The only one who could was a gift, and that was Jesus. He's the one who holds all things together, all the broken pieces and all the broken people. All the people like you and me. He did not come into this world to bring judgment, but to bear judgment, to seek and save the lost, to lead us, to love us, to show us his evergreen love. And you can believe differently because of him. And if you believe that truth, and it is truth, then you're able to see yourself and everyone else in your world differently, through different eyes, through God's eyes, the eyes of Christmas. The eyes that see us in spite of our failures. In spite of all of our failures and all of the pain from the people who have failed us, we know that God didn't fail us. In spite of all the wrong that we've done in our life, and we've done some wrong stuff, let's be honest, and all of our unfaithfulness to God, he is not unfaithful to us. He made a promise that he was going to bring hope into this world, and he kept that promise with Jesus. Jesus came to redeem and restore. And when he did that on the cross, he accomplished something for us that we 2,000 years later are able to embrace, this evergreen love of God. No matter who you are, no matter what you've done or what's been done to you, no matter what's making this season incredibly awesome for you and your family, or what's making this season incredibly heavy and painful, he is here. His love is for you. And one of the darkest points in Israel's history, the prophet Hosea comments and gives a play-by-play of all of the things that were wrong, all the things that Israel had done wrong, and the mess that they got themselves into, the darkness that they were living in. And it wasn't just dark, it was dark and getting darker. And it was going to get darker for years to come. But God, at the end of the book of Hosea, reminds them that this season, the season that you are currently in, because of me, because of what I'm going to do, will pass. And he ends the book with this: I will answer you and I will care for you. I am like a flourishing evergreen. Your fruitfulness comes from me. Who is wise? Let them realize these things. Who's discerning? Let them understand. The ways of the Lord are right. The righteous walk in them. You have, because of this, the most amazing reality. You can have an opportunity to believe something that's not just an ideology or a religion. It is a life-changing relationship with Jesus and an evergreen kind of love that is not seasonal. It can't be contained into one holiday. Even if you tack on Christmas Eve onto that holiday, it can't be tacked into a whole month of December. It can't just be summed up in a season. What Jesus did, his evergreen, consistent love for us, is beyond season. It is in every moment of every day, of every year from here on forward, as soon as you've surrendered your life to him. And you can experience that. And that, to quote National Lampoons, is the gift that keeps on giving. That is the thing that actually goes through the year and helps you realize who you are through God's eyes. It's because of him that you can believe differently. Because of his evergreen love, I want you to look at yourself and those around you with his eyes and believe differently. As the pastor of Ridgeview Community Church, that's our Christmas wish for you. Merry Christmas and God bless.